Don't try. See for yourself. Come back when you need more meat. Bring gold. City of Marco. Where do you want to go? Climb and back and we'll be off. Get up there. What's the Jarl going to do?
The Legion's always looking for strong, capable warriors. If you think you've got what it takes, our headquarters is
I'm no
solid.
fan of the sun, but it would
I have
be
told
better
Ingrid
than
of your concerns.
this.
She'll look after you all. Please, go about your business.
We've no need for wizards in our midst.
Morthal has enough problems as it is.
All right, let's do this.
The people here work so hard, and they never allow themselves a moment of fun. It's such a pity. It won't last forever. These people are like cattle. All they do is work, sleep, and eat.
what's inside.
Stone Hill's warmth is a welcome change in this cold, bleak land.
If you... Ryling owns this mine. I wouldn't have much to live for if she hadn't offered me a job.
So you can cast a few spells. Am I supposed to be impressed?
Hope you're ready to lose. You sure you don't need me to... Some of that weight doesn't look pleasant. interesting. Weapons up. I sense something.
Greetings, traveler. The weather is positively sublime, isn't it? Crisp air and a clear sky. The divines have truly blessed us today. So true. I was once a pessimist myself. Never thought there was anything but danger outside the swamps of Black Marsh. But my son... Now I amble across Tamriel, so that I may get lost, and in doing so, discover all the wonders I... You adventurers are so kind, but there's no need for sorrow. I have already shed enough tears, and broken enough... It's difficult to choose, considering how much there is to love. I love trekking through the Pale, lapping my tail against beds of fresh snow. I love scaling the mountains of the reef. I made the pilgrimage up the 7,000 steps, and watched the sun as it drifted into sea, glazing the sky in layers of magma. I traversed through the fall forest and watched the opera of leaves as they were led across the stage by the autumn. And when I look upon it all, Skyrim was the one place my son had never been, which makes it all the more magical. It would likely be too much of a burden, given how old and frail I am. Besides, if you were a bandit clan, who would you consider a more appealing target? A sweet old farmer, or a single soldier dressed in iron? Yeah, it'd be quite difficult to take me to the local fence. Even the wolves tend to be kind to me. They must not like the taste of stale Argonian jerky. Until next time.
Did you even see them coming? Never mind. I'm not someone to be trifled with. I'm not someone to be trifled with. Close quarters it is then. Are you alright? Let me know if you need anything. Do you need help? You're looking a bit overloaded there. Nice job. Anything good?
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see here. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
Ancestors wouldn't want this, Silas.
Why should I hide from it? This is my family's legacy.
It's the past. Dead oaths on dead lips. Let it stay there.
The museum is opening, Medina.
I'm here to lend my magic to the people of Dawnstar. I beg you, don't go into Silas's museum. Silas comes from one of the oldest families in Dawnstar. They have a complicated history. Several of his ancestors belonged to the Mythic Dawn, the cult that almost destroyed Tamriel. His family's involvement was only found out well after the crisis had died down, but it still ruined their reputation. They were outcasts. And now Silas is back, and this museum to the Mythic Dawn is his way of trying to rebuild his family's pride. It's misguided. Not a student of history, I see. It's for the best. They're a group that should be forgotten. The only thing you need to know is that they almost destroyed the world, and they were stopped a long time ago. That museum is a mistake.
And here comes my first visitor. The Museum of the Mythic Dawn is open, friend. Never mind that. Medina is a good woman, but I have my own reasons for opening this museum. And I'm not changing my mind. I have a collection of artifacts from the group that toppled an empire. Their importance to history cannot be forgotten. Why don't you come in? You can browse the displays and we can talk. I have a job you look perfect for. Let's talk inside. Feel free to look around. Come talk to me when you're ready to discuss that job I mentioned.
The Tales of Serana and her charming death assassin. I'd actually want to read that.
Notice the insignia? An Oblivion Gate. A key symbol of Mehrunes Dagon, the patron Daedra of the Mythic Dawn. The commentaries on the Mysterium Xarxes were written by the Mythic Dawn cult leader, Mankar Camoran. He promised a paradise awaited his followers when they died, that they would be reborn by Mehrunes Dagon's side. That burned paper is all that remains of the fabled Mysterium Xarxes, the blasphemous book written by Mehrunes Dagon himself. It's said that Mankar Camoran used the book to open a portal to a paradise where all his followers would live forever. Those robes were worn during the Mythic Dawn's secret meetings, where they plotted to bring the Daedra Mehrunes Dagon into Tamriel. Each bolt of yarn used to make the robe was colored with a dye, made from sacrificial blood. Did you have any questions about the museum, or would you rather talk business? And here you are. I hope you found the museum to your liking. It's no secret that my family were once members of the Mythic Dawn. One of my forefathers was even chosen to assassinate Uriel Septim himself. We hid from our past for years, became tradesmen, people of coin and influence. But I realized that the Mythic Dawn's importance, our importance, to history cannot be denied. I'll see everyone in Tamriel remember that for a moment, we held the fate of the world in our hands, for good or ill. They were worshippers of Mehrunes Dagon, the Daedric Lord of Destruction and Change. The Mythic Dawn killed Uriel Septim VII and his heirs, triggering the events that led to the Oblivion Crisis when the Daedra invaded Tamriel. All that remains of the infamous cult, I've gathered in my museum. Ah, an excellent question. Mehrunes Dagon is the Daedric Lord of Change, Destruction, and Ambition. Dagon's Mythic Dawn cult killed the Septim dynasty and opened the Oblivion Gates into Tamriel. They called it the Oblivion Crisis. A little history first. After the Oblivion Crisis, a number of groups cropped up dedicated to wiping out the remnants of the Mythic Dawn. One of these groups found Mehrunes' Razor, the artifact of Dagon. They split it into 3 fragments and pledged to keep them apart forever. That was almost 150 years ago, and the pieces are still being kept by the descendants of that group, and they're right here, in Skyrim. At least 2 of the owners, Gunzel and Draskua, are dangerous marauders, and the 3rd owner, Jorgen, I only know he lives in Morthal. Here are my notes about them. I'll gladly pay you for getting the pieces any way you can. No questions asked. The Razor is Mehrunes Dagon's personal artifact. It has always heralded bloody change and carnage. It's held many names. Dagger of the Final Wounds, Bane of the Righteous, the Kingslayer. The Mythic Dawn worshipped Dagon as a god. Having his razor would be invaluable to my collection. luck finding the fragments.
In terms of...
Come to do. Lightly armored means light on your feet. Smart.
The mortar and pestle makes potions, if you can't tell from the name. No. New in town? Oh, you're lucky. Dreams aren't affecting travelers. Everyone else, though. They're horrible. Imagine dying over and over again in your dreams. Night after night. They say a priest of Mara is visiting the Wind Peak Inn. Says the divines will take care of everything. We'll see about that. I'm the oldest woman in Dawnstar. Was here when Skald the Elder was Skald the Younger. He's a fool if you haven't met him already. Thinks Ulfric Stormcloak is invincible and spits dragon fire. The people here look to Brina Marilis when they need things settled. Real firebrand going up. Wasn't surprised when she joined the Legion. Take a look. Let me know if you come down with the rattles.
Pride of the what? Is it? Legion, boss. We're miners, not soldiers.
You'll shut your mouth and get back to work. A miner or a soldier by the day's end. Hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
It's not my war, Serana.
Poor people's war, I mean. The Nords. What kind of life would we be giving our little one if we stayed here?
Well, let me think about it. Seems like no one is... My wife Serana and I run it together. She's still Smith's, even though we found out she is with child. Our son or daughter isn't going to get much Redguard culture here in Skyrim. I know my wife worries how she will pass along her tradition. Hey, if you find a book called Night Falls on Sentinel, could you bring it to me? It's a story from my wife's people. Be good to have. Good on you. I've worked on a few moorings here and there for it. Most of the ship captains are superstitious about who works on their vessels. And Dawnstar is known for its bad luck. We're the last port of call before Winterhold, and the ore we trade makes rich targets for pirates. blades, helmets, pretty much anything to suit your needs. Come back if you need steel.
What about you, stranger? What about this city speaks to you? It really is. They say somewhere north of here is where the world ends. Yet, looking out there now, it still looks so boundless. In solitude, views like this were reserved for royalty. I don't know about you, but I don't wear a crown. Solitude, for lack of a better word, is suffocating. It's not just the walls and the people. It's the inside of the buildings, too. They all have the same thick, musky smell, like the kind that you find in abandoned shacks, with boarded-up windows, where the air is freckled with dust. Only in solitude, the windows are frosted. When the light gets filtered through them, even the sun feels cold. Don't fall victim to nostalgia. It's just another kind of loneliness. The name's Jasper Gerston. I'm a raider. An aspiring raider. I always forget to add that word. Funny how large the chasm is between the two. I've tried. In fact, when I was in solitude, I wrote maybe hundreds of tales, but none worth reading. I was still maturing then, looking for my voice. I would look back on something I penned a week before, shake my head at how shallow the words were, how empty they felt. I began to doubt if I could write anything of substance, and found my solace at the bottom of a flagon. I spent my nights at the winking skeever, and my mornings outside his door. Even Ogtier's son found my behavior uncouth. One night, Corpulus got fed up, kicked me out into the streets, and told me to never come back. That's when I met my muse. No, not this time. Probably never will. My muse was different. He was a warrior. An orc. He was a titan, with arms like tree trunks cut from the great forest. Only, something wasn't right about the way he looked at the tavern sign. When I asked him what was wrong, he managed to force out a word. His bottom lip quivered like a child who just dropped a sweet roll. The word he said was Skeever. It was a giant, with shoulders larger than the domes of the Blue Palace. That night, the first time, I wrote with purpose. There was none of the doubt or fear that marred my previous work. The words came faster than I could jot them down. For 3 days and 3 nights I continued. When I was done, I knew the work was true. It was the best manuscript I had ever written. It was the best I could ever write. I tried. I bound the book and took it to a writer named Dodonato Liatelli. I told him the author was anonymous. Said so right on the first page. I didn't want his opinion colored by my presence. I'm not sure it would have mattered. You know what he told me? He said the story read like it was written by a blacksmith. And that's when I knew I was still aspiring. And maybe always will be. And the delusional often exaggerate their own worth. I could be a genius ahead of his time. A writer without peer. I could be a failure who doesn't belong. Scribbling words that have no soul. To walk either path is to go down a lonely road. But that is Skyrim. No. Not since Dodonato rejected my last work. I'm trying a new style. Less words, more pith. As if each sentence were true. Desire gets in the way. We want to dress up our words in brocaded garments. It was a wandering thought, passed on to us. Skyrim is a tale with no end, but it's a season unending. A story everlasting. And those who lose will never find it, till they rise to fight again. The story I wrote was about a warrior. Good tales are never about the wars, but the people who fight them. That's why wars are so personal. Everyone has someone they lost. Except mine. The Nords are somewhat primitive. But simple minds can foster strong emotion. The Nords are people willing to alas, no. I've heard that a writer's work. I tried it once, singing. The demand for bards is much higher than for writers. Have you ever heard of the Bard's Leap? Better a corpse than a poet. What's on your mind? I'm the second worst person to seek advice from. The worst is Alexander Simon.
Let me know if you want anything. I think I got a clean mug around here somewhere.
Need something?
Need a room? Don't worry. Nightmares don't seem to happen for travelers. Here, take a look at this for details. I hear people talking about some vampire city. Can you imagine? I also heard there have been some vampire attacks around Neverstate. It might not be related, but who knows? These are just... Take a look. All right, then.
Bark. I'd like a drink. Thanks. Back with more flattery, I see.
The entire town is being plagued by horrible nightmares. They're in serious danger, but I'm afraid there's little I can do about it. These dreams are manifestations created by the Daedric Lord, Vermina. She has an awful hunger for our memories. In return, she leaves behind nightmares. Not unlike a cough marks a serious illness. I must end her terrible influence over these people before the damage becomes permanent. I need to return to the source of the problem, to Nightcaller Temple. Perhaps you'd be willing to assist me in that regard. I've already said too much. I would simply ask that you trust me and help me end Dawnstar's nightmare. Wonderful. My Lady Mara will be quite pleased. Nightcaller Temple is only a short walk from Dawnstar. Come, we must hurry. I promise to answer all of your questions. Follow me.
I envy you, travelers. Yes. Ever since my mother died a few winters ago, my mother taught me. I hear they accept most people who apply. If you're ever interested. All right then.
I work for the Wind Peak. Thoring runs the inn. Speak to him.
This way. It feels good to finally have a chance to help these people. Helplessly watching them suffer has been difficult.